and this is a competitive Eurogame where players are going to be playing as medieval traders as part of the Hanseatic Trade League. And the goal of this game is to not only try to gain as much wealth as possible, but also to efficiently convert that wealth into influence that will gain you votes towards being the next Aelderman of the Hanseatic Trade League. The game plays over 5 rounds, with each player having 4 actions each round, and the main board's broken into a few different areas, with the top area being a sea map where players are going to be using action movement, because players will be able to spend actions to move their ship around on this area of the board, and whichever space that they stop at, they're going to be able to perform the action there. This is going to allow players to gain different goods, or even convert goods into other goods, and players are going to be using this rotating disc to determine how much supply is available at each of the different locations, and this is going to be rotating throughout the game, constantly changing the supply that a location might have. But as players build up those supplies and resources, they'll be able to spend those in order to build different building tiles onto the city section of the board. And building these buildings will act as a bit of an engine, because each of them will be able to generate different resources or supplies or even victory points that you'll be able to use throughout the game. And players will also be trying to have the majority of their buildings in each of the different regions of the city, which will gain them additional victory points at the end of the game. But players can also use their different goods and resources to fulfill different orders or even host feasts to increase their fame, which will gain them bonuses and special actions for future trades. And after all the players have performed their 4 actions, you're going to be moving over to the guild hall section of the board, which is going to have a whole bunch of different ability cards laid out in a tableau, and players will be able to bid their victory points on these different ability cards so that they have access to them in the following round. And these can give you some really powerful abilities that can be strategic for you to win, but they also come at a cost, so you want to make sure that the benefit that you're getting from them is greater than the cost that you're going to have to pay. And after those 5 rounds, the player with the most victory points at the end of the game becomes Aelderman and wins the game. And of course, if you find this one interesting or any other that I'm going to be covering in this week's video, I have links to all these campaigns in the description below.